Hey guys, this is Hybrid. Sorry in advance if I sound weird. I had a cold earlier, so my nose is still a little stuffed up. But basically, I'm making a lot of reviews, basically catch up with what I've been missing, since I've been really busy lately. So I do apologize about that. But I was talking to Armin, and we are basically talking about the fact that people shouldn't go watch our reviews because we put panels in our reviews, so you know what we're talking about when we are reviewing them. But the problem with that is people will start going to your channel, I guess, just to see a comic book and not the actual review. And that kind of bothers me because, well, my comic book store closed down in the local area, so I have to buy digital comics now, unless I want to drive like 40 minutes down the road just to get a comic book, which isn't that big of a deal to me if, I wasn't so busy all the time. But basically, because of that, I buy digital, and it's just I talked to the manager actually that went there a little while ago, and I asked him why did you guys end up closing down? It looked like you guys had a good business, and he said we did have a good business, but people just weren't buying the comics enough. That kind of hit home with me, and basically for the next few reviews, I won't put panels in them. On Wednesday and Thursday, when the regular reviews come back, I will put panels, but only on one for each day. That's basically just so, yeah, sure. For one of the comics, you can get the whole panel experience, I guess you can call it. But for the other ones, it's just a review. So I'm sorry that I had to put this introduction in it, but I thought that I would do that so you understand what's going on here and no one's confused and no one's commenting about, hey, why isn't there panels? Because I will respond, hey, you're watching a review, you're not watching a comic book. So, yeah. Basically, though, with this comic, we have Spider Man, and he's deciding to take away Alpha's powers. He's just trying to figure out how. In the process, though, Terminus comes. Of course, an alien invasion has to happen, and they actually call Alpha over here, and we really see Alpha's powers have grown from being able to run at like 88 miles per hour to going at supersonic speeds. And something else you should notice is now he's able to use two powers at the same time: super speed and flight. So before he can only use one, that was his weakness, but now it looks like while his strength is growing, his powers are increasing, his weaknesses are diminishing, which is not good and worries a lot of the heroes, especially ones like Thor and Captain America, because he put a lot of civilians at risk. One being Aunt May and J. Jonah Jameson's dad, they are a married couple, and they were flying a plane, and Alpha basically messed up the plane. He like shut down the plane by using his Alpha energy without focusing it, basically. And I love Thor. Thor calls him an arrogant swain. But yeah, so Spider-Man ends up landing a mini jet, kind of. I'm not gonna even dare to attempt how much force that would be and how that is pretty impossible. But it's a comic book, and Spider-Man, I guess, can do it. So, anyways, after this so happens, Spider-Man is pretty determined to take away his powers, and turns out Terminus's alien technology was able to redirect the energy. So Spider-Man does that to Alpha. So a lot of Alpha's powers are gone, except for he still has his powers, but not anything to the degree he had them before, which makes him an outcast again. He goes back to Midtown High. He's with his parents now, but you see in his face he's sad. And I really don't care. I don't care about the character at all. I think the character is garbage. This is a bad way to do the 50th anniversary of Spider-Man, in my opinion, because it looks like they're gonna make a villain. Like really, it's what I see. I see his powers. Like they even say his powers are gonna come back. Like they're gonna grow again eventually. And all it tells me is, once his powers grow more powerful enough, he's gonna come back and attack Spider-Man. So, yeah, that's great, and it sets up for the next story arc with the Hobgoblin. So let's get to the, I guess, review or like the scores. Art 3, plot 3, writing 3, characters 4, enjoyment 6, overall 63%. Now, you might be like, hey, why are you so critical on art? Well, I'm not being that critical actually. 3 is actually pretty good. It's a decent grade. because the art has somewhat grown on me to a degree where I don't hate it now. But still, I think for a Spider-Man title, like the main title, they should put their best artist on it, or at least something close to their best artist. But then we go to the plot and writing. This whole thing was stupid. It was supposed to, be this really momentous occasion for Spider-Man, his 50th birthday. Instead of doing something where what they could have done was have connected all to Spider-Man. Really, in the Amazing Spider-Man titles, have Amazing Spider-Man, like just show what he's doing in the Ultimate Universe. Then in the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man title, have the same thing but with Miles, what Miles is doing during this whole event. And then in the Spider-Man title, that's when they're actually together. Because it's kind of annoying how they can, like, all these different things are going on. You don't know which one's going on first. It's like each writer's trying to jam in their own version and not, just being cohesive about it. It's just, I feel this is a crappy way to celebrate Spider-Man. You give him a sidekick first off, which wouldn't be a big deal if they pulled it off right, but instead they purposely make a character you're not going to like. Just so they could be like, oh, Spider-Man's using responsibilities, being responsible, and all this stuff. We already know Spider-Man's responsible. It's a key character. That's a point of a character of him, that he is a responsible character. Great power, great responsibility. That's like his main code of conduct. For Pete's sake, like seriously. The character, so I give it a 4, just because of the fact that I'm finally happy Peter Parker got some common sense and took away Alpha's powers. That's great. And enjoyment 6, because, like I said, crappy way to celebrate Spider-Man. So I'm going to leave it on that note. Do my next review now. So this is Hybrid. Please subscribe, comment, and like.